The offseason winds are blowing hard, and at the center of them is a franchise about to bet everything on new leadership. The movement behind the scenes reveals bold decisions, quiet tests, and even rumors that no one expected to hear so soon. While fans wait for answers, something is brewing in training, and it could completely change the course of the season. But is everyone really prepared for what's to come? But first, if you've been a fan for more than 20 years, click the like button and write in the comments how long you've been rooting for the Vikings. Let's go! He's been seen connecting with one of the league's top receivers, showing confidence and command, and yet, some within league circles are already floating the idea that Minnesota might have had second thoughts about fully committing to him. Others are whispering rumors of contingency plans in case things go sideways. And if you're thinking that all this noise is happening in a quiet offseason, think again. The noise around the Minnesota Vikings is growing louder, and it all centers around the one position that can define a franchise: quarterback. J.J. McCarthy has emerged as the clear leader at QB1 for the Minnesota Vikings, taking charge on and off the field in a way that fans have long hoped to see. But with Aaron Rodgers still unsigned and floating in the NFL void, some analysts have dared to speculate, could Minnesota be keeping one eye on a veteran backup plan? That speculation intensified when ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, during an appearance on KFAN, was asked whether Rodgers might be waiting for a possible opportunity if McCarthy suffers an injury. Fowler didn't suggest Rodgers is rooting for that outcome, but admitted it lingers as a back-of-mind possibility. Rodgers, after all, has expressed admiration for strong offensive systems and dome games, both of which Minnesota offers. Still, all signs point toward Pittsburgh being Rodgers' eventual destination. But this moment, this limbo, gives Minnesota a unique strategic cushion. If the unthinkable happens with McCarthy, Rodgers is one call away. For now, though, McCarthy owns the spotlight, and make no mistake, he's acting like it. Despite swirling rumors, the 22-year-old is building real chemistry with star receiver Justin Jefferson, both on the field and beyond it. Jefferson, who in past years skipped much of voluntary offseason work, has been a consistent presence this time around. The connection being forged between quarterback and receiver could shape the future of this franchise. Still, it's not without its growing pains. During recent OTA sessions, McCarthy showed flashes of brilliance with tight zip throws and confident reads, but also suffered through moments of inconsistency. In a live 7-on-7 drill, a pass intended for Jordan Addison was picked off by Isaiah Rodgers, a promising new cornerback. Later, in red zone action, McCarthy failed to connect with T.J. Hockenson and Jalen Nailor on scoring plays. Windy conditions played a role, and practice intensity was high, but fans watching closely will note the lessons McCarthy is gathering in these moments. He's facing a Flores-led defense that thrives on confusion, speed, and surprise blitzes. That's not just trial by fire. Even veteran quarterbacks have struggled against the deceptive looks Flores dials up. In this context, every mistake becomes a building block. Jefferson has noticed McCarthy's evolution. After practice on quarterback's intelligence, leadership growth, and arm strength, he spoke about relationship is just as critical as their on-field time. Jefferson emphasized the value of being present this offseason, saying, "Be here, it was a no-brainer." Elsewhere, intriguing developments are unfolding. Nailor is emerging as a potential breakout contributor. In a contract year and with Jordan facing suspension, Nailor could become the number 2 receiving option at times. Bulked up and changed jersey numbers, a symbolic and physical transformation worth noting. On the defensive side, is receiving plenty of first-team reps as Mekhi Blackmon recalls injury. Okudah, the 2020 number pick, could find career rejuvenation in Brian Flores' scheme. Meanwhile, Isaiah Rodgers is not only disrupting passes and drills but also looks poised to return punts. Rodgers and Okudah are currently flanking Byron Murphy Jr. in what could become a very dynamic trio if they stay healthy. However, that if looms large. Injuries across the Vikings roster have forced depth into the spotlight. On the offensive line, players like Blake Brandel are suddenly critical. Brandel, who started all 17 games last year, has been floated as a potential trade piece by Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport. But that idea has drawn pushback, and for good reason. Brandel's experience at both guard and tackle makes him vital insurance, especially with Will Fries recovering from a broken leg and Christian Darrisaw returning from a torn ACL. New center Ryan Kelly also missed significant time last season. Trading Brandel would leave the Vikings dangerously exposed in case of further injuries. These health concerns, combined with a few shaky practice moments from McCarthy, are likely why some still wonder if Minnesota might make another move before Week 1, possibly in the secondary. With cap space opening up post-June 1, whispers of a pursuit for Jack Jones or even Jair Alexander have surfaced. Jones, formerly of the Raiders, started all 17 games last year and recorded 3 interceptions. Despite inconsistency, his skill set appeals to Minnesota, and there's evidence they previously showed interest. Alexander, meanwhile, would only become an option if released by Green Bay, and interdivision trade is essentially off the table. But if he becomes available, his fit in Flores' aggressive scheme would be nearly perfect. On the practice field, the offensive line featured different combinations. The first team included Justin SKOL, rookie Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Blake Brandel, and Brian O'Neill. A second unit mixed in day 3 rookies Michael Juergens and Walter Rouse. The shuffling reflects both experimentation and necessity as several starters remain sidelined. Perhaps the most vivid OTA moment came when Byron Murphy Jr. tipped a pass from McCarthy that landed in the hands of linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. The play wasn't just an interception, it was a statement. This defense isn't easing up for its young quarterback. It's pushing him to become the leader they need. Head coach Kevin O'Connell values that intensity. He described how Jefferson and others are helping McCarthy understand nuances like leverage and timing. These are lessons that can't be taught in a classroom. They're only learned through reps, and McCarthy is getting plenty. With nearly the entire roster present at OTAs, something that hasn't always been the case in recent years, the atmosphere is electric. The 115-minute session included full-speed looks, blitz packages, and aggressive challenges designed to prepare McCarthy for the season ahead. The vibe coming out of Egan is one of cautious optimism. Players are working hard, chemistry is building, and yet, questions remain. Will McCarthy be ready when the lights come on in Week 1? Can this young quarterback, fresh off a meniscus tear, silence the doubters? Or will the whispers of veterans and trade speculation continue into the summer? Let me hear from you. What do you think about McCarthy's performance so far? Are the Vikings doing enough to support him? Should they explore free agent corners or hold tight with what they've got? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And as we push deeper into June, the Vikings' blueprint for 2025 becomes clearer, but not without its share of risks. J.J. McCarthy has the tools, the weapons, and the leadership support. Yet the reality of the NFL is ruthless. Chemistry must translate into consistency, and promise must evolve into production. The front office has built a roster that blends youth, depth, and a bit of uncertainty. Whether it's potential additions in the secondary or standing firm with the current core, the margin for error is razor thin. Now it's up to you, fan. Do you believe McCarthy will be able to live up to expectations? Would you risk betting all your chips on this young offense, or would you further bolster the defense with a big name? Leave your opinion in the comments, like it, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any exclusive Vikings updates. SKOL!